Right where I left you guys. Making sandwiches in the van after getting skunked. Almost losing my favorite rod. And looking forward to a 2-hour drive. So if you saw the last video, I was out on, or the last videos, I was out on Rodman for the last 3 days. It's an awesome lake. And I will get back here before I go back home to Virginia in a few weeks. But I'm heading south. I'm going to Lake Toho tomorrow. I'm going to be fishing with Scott Rose. And I don't know exactly where I'm going right now. I'm still waiting for my phone to charge so I can figure out exactly like where to stay and stuff like that. I can probably stay at like a Pilot or a rest stop or a Walmart. I just have to figure out somewhere relatively close to Toho. So that's where we're starting this one off. I've never fished Toho. I'm going to do some research on it tonight. Scott was saying that we're going to be doing a lot of flipping and punching, which I'm definitely looking forward to. Especially because today I snapped one of my snell knots, so I need to practice my snell knot a lot. Like a lot. I hate breaking my line. It's the most infuriating thing in the world to me, especially because I retie my line pretty consistently, but I don't know, new knots. Dinner is starting here with a PB&J, a chicken and Havarti with a little pepperoni and mustard, and we're gonna hit the road. Woke up a little chilly this morning. Scott texted me and said he'd be at Toho around 10, so I'm gonna head over to the ramp a little bit earlier than that. Gotta organize the boat, it's a mess. My boat has exploded. No, I'm just going through and organizing everything, but I have a quick question for you guys. I wanna know, down in the comment section below, what you do with all of your extra plastics, like plastics that you've used, like this one that I have on this swim bait. I want to put the hook back in my terminal box. Do you take this off and put it back in the package? Do you have a separate box for all your plastics? I'm going to share my favorite comment on the next video with what you do, because I'm trying to figure out what to do with all these because they're still good. I don't want to waste them. Normally I'll just keep them hooked, but then the boat gets totally unorganized. Got everything organized in this boat. Man, it feels so good. So I figured I would show you the go box that I put together for today, since I'm going to be hopping on Scott's boat. And we are here at Toho. We're going to be flipping grass and doing some stuff like that. So I brought one Guggen spinnerbait. I just want to try this thing out. I'm not sure if it's going to work because of this cold front, but I think we're going to start the day off with kind of fishing off of those flats a little bit. Because of the cold front, that's generally going to mean that the bigger fish that we're getting up there to spawn are going to pull off to that first bit of cover. So we're going to move a lot of water to start the day and then slowly work our way up. Or when we catch a fish, we're going to really pound that area hard. So moving water with like a spinnerbait, I got a bunch of swim jigs. This is a Z-Man cross-eye swim jig, and I've been catching fish on this actually. I really do like that one. I've got the new Guggen bait swim jig. I'm gonna try that out. And then the Trash Master, of course, this one's great. It has a real beefy hook on there. A couple of chatterbaits. I've got quite a few dark sleepers for Megabass, and literally like the perfect name for this because it's a small bait, it gets through grass really well, and it's a sleeper bait. My friend Billy got me onto these, and I think that something like this will work really well today, especially after this cold front. And then I've got some terminal. I don't have like the spacers in this, so it's real messy, but pretty much 2 of everything. A couple half-ounce weights, a couple of 3/8, and then quarters. I've got some swim bait hooks, flipping hooks, super line, EWGs, and some bobber stops. And then of course, 2 bags of plastics over there. Also, those money bags are insane. Like, I am such a big fan of those. I just got them before going to Rodman. Oh, who is this? Rob Turkla. But yeah, those money bags are awesome. So I definitely recommend them. I'm actually gonna get probably 2 or 3 more and keep all my plastics in those because I have 2 boxes in this compartment where I keep the plastics, but they're just too big and I always have to take them both out to get into it. So those are gonna be a good solution for that. So Lawson and Scott are going to be here in probably 20 minutes or so. I'm going to get some rods out. I need to re-spool that reel that I literally caught in the prop yesterday, and then I think we'll be ready to go. boys are out. They made it. We're out on Toho. So for those of you guys that don't know, this is Scott Rose. You've probably seen him on YouTube bouncing around. If you want to come catch some big bass in the Everglades or some peas down in Miami, this is your man. I'm gonna leave him linked down in the description below. And then we got our boy Lawson Lindsay over there too. So we're gonna run up to the northwest side of Toho and just look for some grass up there. The wind's blowing from the northwest, so we want to get out of the wind as best as possible. Flipping day, Scotty? What you think?
Flipping day for today. A lot of soft plastics. Thinking worms, creature baits. Put in a big fish's mouth.
Let's go.
Let's do it. I'm gonna go finesse all the way here to start.
I like it. So I'm gonna apologize for the wind noise to begin with because it is a little crappy out wind-wise. But we found this huge flat with lily pads and a ton of hydrilla. It's kind of, well, I say a ton, it's kind of sparse right here. The water's super, super clear. And I think we're just gonna start casting a bunch of swim baits. Well, I'm gonna start with a swim bait, or a swim jig, sorry. What are you gonna start with?
I'm gonna punch.
You're gonna punch?
Yeah.
Perfect. So then we'll cover both pieces of ground there. Try to figure it out. It is freaking awesome out here. I was just pressing the other side of this trolling motor for the last like 30 seconds because I have a motor guide and it's on the other side. I'm like, is this thing going? What's going on? Oh, yeah. Is that a, oh my God, dude.
Wow.
Are you serious?
We got a pickerel bite.
We're on the pickerel bite today. Lawson got one. I got one.
Cool, dude.
Grab him real quick. Yeah, that's awesome. Check that out. Florida pickerel. My first one ever. He choked that swim jig. Something kind of interesting that Lawson was saying, he just caught one. He said it was only the second one he's ever caught. And the one that he had was probably the biggest one he's ever seen. Or Scott, you said that was the biggest one you'd ever seen, right?
Yeah, and it was not very big.
All right, going back. See ya. Sick. Yeah, that's.
I just heard
Did you?
Okay.
There we go. I was just about to put this thing down too. On the cooler fish. Boom. Yes, sir. Took us a little bit to find our first bass here at Toho, but the little guy. We need one like, what do you think, 10 times this size? Would you be happy with one 10 times this size?
Yeah, 10 times sounds about good.
Me too. He's like a pound on that swim jig. We were just talking about it and how we wanted to slow down a little bit because it is a cold front right now, so we're thinking maybe something a little slower, but we found that one active fish Scott was talking about.
Probably your final cast on the swim bait, right?
You were talking me out of putting this thing down. I'm gonna put it back real quick. But yeah, you were like talking me out of throwing this. And I was gonna pick up my Texas rig and he just smoked it. So let's work this area. Let's do it. I kind of do want to check out that outside edge of hydrilla. Oh, you on? Yep. Nice, good one? No. Scott's on. Spinnerbait.
Spinnerbait bite.
Right when we're talking about leaving too. Oh no, that's solid.
So yeah, first fish for me on Toho. This fish just smoked a spinnerbait. I made a cast right along this lily pad edge, running right where it probably gets a little bit deeper, and sure enough, right there. That's 2 in a row for us now in this spot. We power pulled down. Maybe started something good.
Dude, when I put my hand into your shadow, it literally gets 10 degrees colder. That's so weird. This might be like good to punch.
Yeah. First star of the day.
What's that?
First star.
Oh wow. Yeah. You're a madman. That's so funny. See ya. He didn't even care.
No.
That was crazy. That's what we want. I can see it a little bit up there, like where it's at though. Yeah, this is better. Oh no!
Why didn't it stick?
I don't know. I have
Maybe the
no
hook gap
idea.
The swim bait on there?
No, that's how I always fish them. Just didn't.
You smoked him.
Dude, he rocked it, knocked slack in my line. That was like a big bite. I was just bringing it down that edge, let it drop.
Hang on.
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, that was our first bite we've had. Probably an hour. We've been moving around, fishing a bunch of different pieces of lily pads and some of this grass. And we finally just got another bite. I totally whiffed on it. I had him hooked for like a second. I didn't whiff. I whacked him good, but he did not want to stay pinned.
Limitations?
They do. I want to say it's like... Sorry, dude. I was in an awkward position there. Good. Oh, decent. Second bass of the day. Spinner bait. Probably pound and a half, pound and a quarter, something like that. So yeah. Dude, he smoked it like that last one. Now I don't feel that bad. Oh, you totally just matrixed the rod. I'm sorry, I almost took your head off. I got real excited.
You gotta hit him.
I was fishing it this way and I had to do the backhand hook set, which I also hate.
Makes you wonder.
Do you want to jump up and fish just that one little stretch because there's no more ahead of us? Or do you want to keep going down this line?
Thinking about it. What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's run up. Oh, it's a good fish. Oh, God, dude.
Huge pickerel.
Giant pick.
Okay, that's the biggest Florida pickerel I've ever seen.
Yeah. You choked that spinnerbait, man. It's so deep in his mouth. Pick number 2 for the day. Biggest one you've ever seen, Scott?
For Florida.
For Florida?
Yeah, for sure.
Such a pretty fish. It's like catching muskie in Florida almost, just a lot smaller. All right, bud.
Good practice.
Yeah. He smoked it too. Every fish has been just crushing. Finishing the day off punching this grass mat and pads. So sick. We haven't had a single bite on plastics today.
No.
That's the craziest part. We thought it was going to be just like a full-on plastics day. Full-on flipping day. Spinnerbaits. Cold front spinnerbait bite was hot.
How weird is that?
I like how we're saying it's hot. We got 3 fish. I mean, granted, never been here. No idea what we were expecting. Okay. Cold front. Yeah, we did all right. I mean, we got more bites than that too, which is good. Last cast?
Yeah, I want to get off here.
Yeah, last
cast. Just trying to turn into diamond cutters. Yeah.
Yeah. God dang it! What did I say? Throw it. Oh damn! I hooked him too good.
Smoked him. Right in the middle?
Right in the middle. Pickerel to finish it off.
This is definitely like a trophy pickerel type of day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right in the net. Last fish of the day. See ya. Solid pickerel day.
Solid.
Well, we got off the water and Scott and Lawson have an Airbnb that we're sharing here in Kissimmee. And we're trying to figure out how we're gonna fit all of our boats and trucks in this driveway. Yeah, worst spot to show you guys, but not a ton of space, but I think we're gonna play boat Jenga. We're gonna make it happen. Last night, went to the Airbnb. We finagled all the boats and trucks and van in this tiny little driveway and got some rest. Now we're back here at the ramp at Toho. So some things yesterday that we realized that most of the fish that we caught on that outside grass line. So we were finding these giant hydrilla mats, and we were looking for that first drop off, and that's where we were getting bit. Everything on a swim jig or a spinnerbait. We didn't have any bites on plastics, which was pretty surprising. Lawson actually at the end of the day went on like a little heater and caught, I think, 7 fish. Sorry, he caught 4 fish on a jerkbait on the outside grass line. So that was pretty good. Something I forgot to do yesterday, actually 2 things. I forgot to add our fish to the clicker. So we caught 5 fish, 3 pike, and 2 bass. Brings us to 15 fish total. Hopefully today we could like double that. And something else my dad wanted me to do was he asked me if the fish saw its shadow yesterday because Groundhog's Day, and it definitely saw its shadow. So I don't know what that means. I think that means not too long till spring, hopefully, but I got to get everything ready. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me, and I'll see you on the next one, hopefully with a 10-pounder.